Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Rupinder Kaur Chawla with the Midday News. The headlines. Peaceful polling underway for second phase of assembly elections in Assam and West Bengal. 58.15% voting recorded in West Bengal and 48.26% in Assam. Campaigning for the third phase of assembly election reaches crescendo. Enthusiastic response to COVID vaccination for all above 45 years. Over 6 crore 51 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Over 72,000 new COVID-19 cases reported in the last 24 hours. Superstar Rajnikant to be honoured with Dada Saheb Phalke Award for the year 2019. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulates Rajnikant, says he has been popular across generations and has done work which only a few can boast of. Government withdraws orders related to changes in interest rates of small savings schemes will continue to be at the levels as of March 2021. Last date to link Aadhaar with PAN card extended till June 30th. Odisha celebrates 86th Statehood Day Utkar Divas. President Ramnath Kovind greets the people of Odisha. Relief to Indian IT professionals as US allows H-1B visa ban to expire. And in tennis, in the Miami Open, Hubert Hurkacz to meet Stefanos Tsitsipas. In the men's singles semi-final and in women's singles semi-final, Ashley Barty to meet Elina Svitolina. As the number of COVID cases is on the rise again, we appeal to our listeners not to lower their guard, follow all precautions, and all those above 45 years to get vaccinated without any hesitation. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. In the poll-banned states of Assam and West Bengal, polling for the second phase of assembly elections is progressing smoothly. The average voter turnout was registered at 48.26% in Assam, while it was at 58.15% in West Bengal till 1:30 p.m. The people were seen standing in long queues in front of the polling stations right from the beginning. All necessary facilities and security arrangements have been made to ensure free and fair polling during this phase. The voter verifiable paper audit trail VVPAT is being used along with electronic voting machine EVM at every polling station with a view to enhance the transparency and credibility of the election process. The polling will be conducted till 6 p.m. in Assam while it will continue till 6:30 p.m. in West Bengal. In view of the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic, the option of postal ballot facility has been extended to the electors who are COVID-19 positive or suspect as certified by competent authority and are in home or institutional quarantine, along with those marked as persons with disabilities, PWD, and above the age of 80 years. It has also been ensured that every polling station is equipped with assured minimum facilities, AMF, like drinking water, waiting shed, toilet with water facility, adequate arrangements for lighting, ramp of appropriate gradient for the persons with disabilities. In Assam, 345 candidates, including 26 women, are in the fray for the 39 assembly constituencies spread over 13 districts going to polls today during the second of 3-phase elections. Over 73.44 lakh voters, including 36.09 lakh women and 135 third-gender persons, will decide the fate of these candidates. We take you to our correspondent Manas Pratim Sarma for an update. Manas, what kind of enthusiasm do you see among the voters to exercise their franchise?
Yes, Balsa, there is no doubt of enthusiasm, as you rightly said. Voting has begun at 7 a.m. and in most of the polling stations, people started reaching polling booths before the polling actual time of polling. Around 5:30 to 6 a.m., voters have turned up, and they are waiting in front of the polling booths. They are in traditional attire in some of the places. So much enthusiasm can be seen both in Barak Valley and Brahmaputra Valley. There are around 3 lakh first-time voters, new voters. They are very excited. There are selfie stands for them. The Election Commission, ECI or CO office felicitated the senior citizens, senior voters with a gamosa, traditional gamosa. New voters were given saplings. All these initiatives, all these activities have made the environment, very, very, very friendly for the voters, and it is sort of a celebration of democracy. Back to you.
Right, Manas. Since many people are coming from remote places, is there any special arrangement for them?
But not for remote, exactly not only for remote areas. They have made certain provisions for the voters here, like for the PWD or Divyanga voters. There are wheelchair facilities in every polling station. E-rickshaws have been provided for senior citizens either 80 plus or 60 plus. Apart from there are drinking water facilities, as you mentioned earlier. There are toilets, rest houses, restroom, help desks, and all the COVID protocols like face masks, sanitizers. All these required facilities have been provided to voters in everywhere. Back to you.
That's great. Thank you, Manas, for that update. The prominent leaders contesting during the second phase include BJP ministers Piyush Hazarika from Jagi Road, Parimal Shuklabedya from the Dholai, and Bhabesh Kalita from Rongya, along with Deputy Speaker of Assembly Aminul Haq Laskar from Honai. In West Bengal, 171 candidates, including 19 women, are vying for the 30 seats in 4 districts during the second phase. The state is witnessing 8-phase elections. Over 75.94 lakh voters, including 37.13 lakh women and 89 third-gender persons, will decide the fate of these candidates. Total 10,620 polling stations have been set up in the second phase for this purpose. Bharatiya Janata Party and ruling AITC are contesting for all the 30 seats, while Congress, left parties and their alliance partner, Indian Secular Front, are fighting under the banner of Sanjukta Morcha. CPIM has fielded 15 candidates. Congress has 9, BSP 7, CPI 2 and AIFB and RSP 1 each, while there are 32 independents along with 44 others also in the fray. Now we take you live to our correspondent Madhupurna Dhar Chaudhary for an eyewitness account. Madhupurna, what is the turnout of the voters as the weather, we heard, is becoming severe during the afternoon?
We have seen large number of voters standing in long queue since early morning, even before the voting started. The picture was more or less same across the constituencies. The figure what we have got from the office, polling percentage was more than 58% till 1 p.m.
Right.
Particularly in East Medinipur, it has crossed 6% and 56.78% at Nandigram. And as you have rightly mentioned, the weather condition is really severe today in Bankura, East and West Medinipur and South Chobbish Pargona. As a temperature, it has already crossed 39 degrees Celsius. Still, people at large, they are breathing the hot and humid conditions. They are awaiting for their turn to vote. Now, this is a very quite a common trend during elections being held in summer, that as the day progresses, the number of electors starts decreasing a bit, but after a couple of hours, they will be back again. Balsa?
Right. So what are the security arrangements, especially the deployment of CRPF at sensitive booths?
Yes, Balsa, see, as I have been saying for the last few days, that particularly Nandigram, which is a very high-profile constituency in the second phase of polling, it is considering the sensitivity, all 355 booths in Nandigram has been declared as sensitive, and only particularly for Nandigram, 20 companies of central forces have been deployed. Okay.
Right.
Apart from that, more than 22 companies of quick response teams, they are also here. And 2 IPS officers, they have been put on special duty for monitoring the situation.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, IPS Nagendra Study, he is on the field since this morning along with the Jawans of the central forces, and he is dispersing any kind of crowd as Section 144 has been imposed in Nandigram, and he is checking the papers by himself. And lots of allegations and counter-allegations have been reaching the Election Commission since this morning, and ECI is seeking reports from the administration of the concerned areas. So, to sum up, Election Commission has arranged all possible steps, and we can see it practically on the field. Balsa?
Right. Thank you so much, Madhupurna, for all those details. The prominent leaders contesting during the second phase include AITC President and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, her former aide and rival BJP candidate Shubhendu Adhikari, along with CPIM youth leader Meenakshi Mukherjee from Nondigram. Meanwhile, the electioneering campaign is gaining momentum in respect of the third phase in both these states and also for the single-phase elections in Kerala and Tamil Nadu as well as the Union Territory of Puducherry. Third phase polling in these two states will be held on the 6th of April when 338 candidates will be contesting for the 40 seats of Assam and 205 candidates for 31 assembly seats of West Bengal. The single-phase polling in Kerala, Tamil Nadu along with the Union Territory of Puducherry will also be held on the 6th of next month, while there will be 957 candidates in the fray for the 140 assembly constituencies of Kerala. Total number of candidates will be 4,125 in respect of 234 constituencies in Tamil Nadu.
In the democratic festival of elections, mega-sized banners, flex boards and larger-than-life-sized PVC cutouts used to dot the public spaces, especially in Tamil Nadu in the past. But a judicial ban has effectively checked the trend. However, the festival is not without its own glitter and color, as there are several film stars in the fray. Notable among them are the stars like Kamal Haasan, Vijaykanth, Seeman, Kushbu, and the list is quite long. Some of them are even chief ministerial aspirants. Tamil Nadu has for long been a political turf for the matinee idols. Quite many of them succeeded in both films and politics, while the political career of many others ended up just as a bubble. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
In Puducherry, 324 candidates will be vying for the 30 assembly seats. The scrutiny of nomination papers for the fifth phase was completed yesterday, and the last date for withdrawal of candidature will be the 3rd of April. We have more from our correspondent.
As per the guidelines of the Election Commission of India, the government employees who are deployed for election duty on the poll day, that is 6th April, extended with the facility to cast their votes by postal ballot at the designated common facilitation centers and training halls. The voting through postal ballot by the government officials on poll duty commenced on March 29th across the Union Territory. As on 30th March, 1,939 number of poll staffs cast their votes by postal ballot throughout the Union Territory. This includes 1,899 government employees in Puducherry region and 40 employees in Karaikal region. Chandramohan, AR News, Puducherry.
The scrutiny was also done simultaneously for by-elections of 2 Lok Sabha seats, including Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh and Belgaum in Karnataka, along with 14 assembly constituencies in 11 states. The assembly constituencies going in for the by-polls include 3 in Rajasthan, 2 in Karnataka and 1 each in Gujarat, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Mizoram, Nagaland, Odisha, Telangana and Uttarakhand. In all 45 assembly constituencies will go to polls in the 5th phase on the 17th of April. The Election Commission today issued notice to senior BJP leader and Assam Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma for allegedly threatening a Bodoland People's Front BPF leader. The poll body has asked Mr. Sarma to reply by tomorrow evening. The Congress on Tuesday had written to the Commission in this regard.
Prime Minister and senior BJP leader Narendra Modi said that double-engine government is required in Assam for the continuous progress. He asserted that people of Assam trusts NDA's commitment for development and peace. He said that the Congress has betrayed the people of the state. Addressing a poll rally at Kokrajhar, the Prime Minister said that the BJP has peace, progress and protection mantra for the Bodoland Territorial Region, BTR. Over 6,51,17,000 doses of COVID vaccine have been administered to the beneficiaries in the country so far. Union Health Ministry said that more than 20,63,000 doses were given to the beneficiaries in the last 24 hours. A total number of 72,330 new cases have been reported in the country in the past 24 hours, taking the cumulative positive cases to over 1,22 lakh.
COVID-19 vaccination for everyone aged above 45 years began today. The cut-off date for the 45-plus years category is those persons born before the 1st of January 1977. The comorbidities clause has been removed to make the system simpler. A report from our correspondent.
All persons of 45 years and above can register themselves in the CoWIN system for booking of appointment for vaccination. On-site registration of such persons also permissible. People can go to their nearest vaccination center after 3 p.m. for on-site registration with any identity document. If a beneficiary has taken an online appointment for vaccination on CoWIN, then there is no need to take any further appointment at private or public hospitals. If any hospital doesn't follow these guidelines of vaccination, then one must lodge a complaint at toll-free number 1075. The vaccination centers in the national capital are witnessing enthusiastic response on the first day as people aged 45 above are turning up voluntarily to get the vaccine shot. With Suparna, Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
The next phase of vaccination, which began today, covering more number of beneficiaries, is getting better response in Mumbai, and better arrangements are proving to be effective to increase the confidence among the beneficiaries and overcome the sense of uncertainty about the effectiveness of vaccine. More from a Mumbai correspondent.
Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope has said that rates of the corona tests in the private labs have been revised again and the cost has come down to Rs 500. He said that the rates of rapid antigen tests have also been reduced to Rs 150. The government has further reduced the cost of the test yesterday. The Principal Secretary of Health Department, Dr. Pradeep Vyas, has said that no laboratory can charge more than the rates fixed by the government. After ICMR's approval to various manufacturing units in the country, the availability of the various products and instruments related to testing has been increased. The cost of the transportation has also come down due to the smooth transportation facility. The number of testing facilities have also been increased, and these factors have resulted in the reduction of the cost of the testing. With Bhavana Gokhale, Shailesh Patil, AR News, Mumbai.
In the wake of surge in COVID cases in the neighbouring state, Madhya Pradesh government extended the suspension of passenger bus operations with Maharashtra till 15th of April and announced additional restrictions to curb the spread of the infection. Meanwhile, 2,332 fresh COVID cases were registered yesterday in the state. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
The active cases of COVID in Madhya Pradesh are 17,096 and the average positivity rate of COVID infection is 8.9% in the last 7 days. Maharashtra borders will remain sealed and operation of buses to and from Maharashtra will remain suspended till April 15th. Teaching in all schools and colleges will remain suspended till April 15th in the cities of Bhopal, Indore, Jabalpur, Baitul, Chhindwara, Khargone and Ratlam. No public function fairs will be organized on Rang Panchami. Circles will be mandatory in front of shops. If social distancing is not followed, shops can also be sealed. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Bangladesh has banned arrival from Europe except UK and 12 other countries. In view of the surge in the COVID-19 cases in the country over the last week, Bangladesh has banned the arrival of passengers from Europe except the UK and 12 other countries. Veteran actor superstar Rajnikant will be honoured with the prestigious Dada Saheb Phalke Award for the year 2019. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar made this announcement today.
इस साल 51वां दादा साहब फाल्के अवार्ड हम घोषित कर रहे हैं। इस बार चयन करने के लिए 5 जूरी मेंबर थे। आशा भोसले, मोहनलाल, विश्वजीत चैटर्जी, शंकर महादेवन और सुभाष घई। ये 5 जूरी की बैठक हुई और बैठक में उन्होंने सर्वसम्मति से अपने महान नायक रजनीकांत को दादा साहब फाल्के अवार्ड देने की सिफारिश की है और उसको हमने स्वीकारा है।
The award will be given on the 3rd of next month. In a tweet, Mr. Javadekar described him as one of the greatest actors in history of Indian cinema. He said Rajnikant's contribution as an actor, producer and screenwriter has been iconic. Dada Saheb Phalke Award is the highest honour of Indian cinema. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated superstar Rajnikant for being conferred the Dada Saheb Phalke Award. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said it is a matter of immense joy that Thalaiva has been conferred with the award. The Prime Minister said that Thalaiva, as Rajnikant is fondly called by his fans, has been popular across generations and has done work which only a few can boast of. Mr. Modi added that Rajnikant is known for his diverse roles and an endearing personality. We have a desk report.
இளமையில் உழைப்பவன் முதுமையில் சிரிக்கிறான் இளமையில் படுத்தவன் முதுமையில் தவிக்கிறான் உனது ரத்தமும் எனது ரத்தமும் உறவு ரத்தமடா நீயும் நானும் நானும் நீயும் நிறத்தால் குணத்தால் குணடா
Rajinikanth was born as Shivajirao Gaikwad on 12th December 1950 in a Marathi family in Bangalore. He had his primary education in Bangalore. Upon completion of his school education, he got a job in the Bangalore Transport Service as a bus conductor. He decided to take up an acting course in the Madras Adayar Film Institute. At the institute, he was spotted by the veteran Tamil film director K. Balachandar, who later introduced him under the screen name of Rajinikanth in a cameo role in Apurva Ragangal, which was released on the 15th of August 1975, and the rest was history. Rajinikanth, the biggest Indian movie star you have probably ever heard of, has appeared in over 160 films, predominantly in Tamil cinema. He has also acted in Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and Bengali films. He was honored with the Padma Bhushan in 2000 and the Padma Vibhushan in 2016 by the Government of India. Ravi Kumar for AR News, Delhi.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Peaceful polling underway for second phase of assembly elections in Assam and West Bengal. 58.15% voting recorded in West Bengal and 48.26% in Assam. Campaigning for the third phase of assembly election reaches crescendo. Enthusiastic response to COVID vaccination for all above 45 years. Over 6 crore 51 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Over 72,000 new COVID cases reported in the last 24 hours. Superstar Rajinikanth to be honored with Dada Saheb Phalke Award for the year 2019. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulates Rajinikanth, says he has been popular across generations and has done work which only a few can boast of. Government withdraws orders related to changes in interest rates of small savings schemes. Will continue to be at the levels as of March 2021. Last day to link Aadhaar with PAN card extended till June 30th. Odisha celebrates 86th Statehood Day Utkal Divas. President Ramnath Kovind greets the people of Odisha. Relief to Indian IT professionals as US allows H-1B visa ban to expire. And in tennis, in the Miami Open, Hubert Hurkacz to meet Stefanos Tsitsipas in men's singles semi-final, and in women's singles semi-finals, Ashley Barty to meet Elina Svitolina. And for quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back. In Odisha, a number of programs have been organized to mark the 86th Statehood Day today, celebrated as Utkal Divas. The day commemorates the coming into being of Odisha as a state in 1936. The President, Vice President, Prime Minister and a host of other dignitaries have greeted the people of Odisha on the occasion.
President Ramnath Kovind, greeting the people of the state, has said that the country is proud of the unparalleled cultural heritage, architecture, handicrafts and the dance art of Odisha. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that Odisha is known for its marvelous monuments, unique handicrafts, breathtaking beaches and diverse wildlife. Wishing people of the state on the Utkal Divas today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the people of Odisha have contributed immensely to India's progress. Governor of Odisha, Professor Ganeshi Lal, Chief Minister Navin Patnaik, Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan and many other dignitaries have greeted the people of the state on this occasion. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that interest rates on small savings schemes will not be changed and will continue to be at the rates as on March 31st this year. In a tweet, the minister said interest rates of small savings schemes of the government shall continue to be at the rates which existed in the last quarter of 2020-21.
The government has extended the last date for linking of Aadhaar number with PAN up to 30th of June this year in view of the difficulties arising out of the COVID-19 pandemic. The deadline to link PAN with Aadhaar had ended yesterday. Earlier, the centre had extended the deadline to 31st of March 2021 from the previous deadline of 30th June 2020 because of the pandemic. The US ban on foreign workers' visa, especially H-1B visa, has expired. U.S. President Joe Biden allowed the ban notification issued by his predecessor, Donald Trump, to expire as its validity lapsed yesterday. This is being considered a big relief for thousands of Indian IT professionals. Former U.S. President Donald Trump had issued a proclamation in June last year suspending entry to the U.S. of applicants for several temporary or non-immigrant visa categories, including H-1B.
Defending champion Ashley Barty moved into the semi-finals with a battling win over Belarusian 7th seed Aryna Sabalenka. The Australian world number one won 11 of the final 12 points as Sabalenka struggled with an abdominal injury to seal a 6-4, 6-7, 6-3 victory. She will face Ukrainian 5th seed Elina Svitolina. Rajiv Ram and Joe Salisbury have entered into the men's doubles final of the Miami Open. They beat Sebastian Corda and Michael Mumo 7-5, 6-2. Now the American-British pair will play against Mektic and Pavic in the men's double final. Earlier, top-seeded Daniil Medvedev crashed out on a day of upsets that also saw Australian Open champion Naomi Osaka ousted from the quarterfinals. 7th-seeded Spaniard Roberto Bautista Agut beat Medvedev 6-4, 6-2. Women's world number 2 Osaka had bowed out hours earlier. The Japanese star's 23-match winning streak coming to a crashing halt with a 6-0, 6-4 loss to Greece's Maria Sakkari.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to have a maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius and a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius. Mumbai, with a mainly clear sky, is expected to witness a maximum temperature of 32 degrees Celsius and minimum of 24 degrees Celsius. Chennai and Kolkata will also have a mainly clear sky. In Chennai, the maximum temperature is expected to be at 38 and minimum 28 degrees Celsius. It will be between 28 and 39 degrees in Kolkata. Srinagar will observe a mainly clear sky, but it may become partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The maximum temperature is expected to be between 22 degrees Celsius and minimum is 4 degrees. Jammu, with a mainly clear sky, will see the temperature rising up to nearly 32 degrees Celsius from a minimum of 13 degrees. Leh may have a maximum temperature of 10 degrees Celsius amid a mainly clear sky. The minimum is minus 5 degrees. Gilgit is expected to have 24 degrees Celsius as an upper limit of temperature amid mainly clear sky. Minimum was 11 degrees. Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature will rise from a minimum of 11 degrees to a maximum of 28 degrees. In Dehradun, the maximum temperature will be around 33 degrees, moving from a minimum of 12 degrees.
Some more news. President Ramnath Kovind has been recovering well after the bypass surgery. He thanks the doctors and caregivers for their amazing dedication. In a tweet, the President said he is touched by messages from citizens and leaders from India and abroad wishing him speedy recovery. Mr. Kovind said, "It's difficult to express in words his gratitude to everyone." And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Peaceful polling underway for second phase of assembly elections in Assam and West Bengal. 58.15% voting recorded in West Bengal and 48.26% in Assam. Campaigning for the third phase of assembly election reaches crescendo. Enthusiastic response to COVID vaccination for all above 45 years. Over 6 crore 51 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Over 72,000 new COVID-19 cases reported in the last 24 hours. Superstar Rajnikant to be honoured with Dada Saheb Phalke Award for the year 2019. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulates Rajnikant, says he has been popular across generations and has done work which only a few can boast of. Government withdraws orders related to changes in interest rates of small savings schemes. Will continue to be at the levels as of March 2021. Last date to link Aadhaar with PAN card extended till June the 30th. Odisha celebrates 86th Statehood Day, Utkala Divas. President Ramnath Kovind greets the people of Odisha. Relief to Indian IT professionals as US allows H-1B visa ban to expire. And in tennis, in the Miami Open, Hubert Hurkacz to meet Stefanos Tsitsipas in the men's singles semi-final, and in women's singles semi-final, Ashley Barty to meet Elina Svitolina. And with that, we end the midday news.